Hi, and welcome to WorldTowning. Today we're going to talk about the top 5 reasons, maybe 5.5, of why we travel and why we're doing this life of ours. Check it out.
You can't laugh before I say it. It ruins the punchline.
Hi, and welcome to WorldTowning 101. Today we're talking about why we left, why we started this travel life of ours, and why we thought it was important for us to start it at this particular moment.
I'm going to give you a hint. Margaritas, nice warm beaches, right?
That was part of it.
And so when we took off traveling, we kind of had like 5 main, maybe 5.5 reasons why we wanted to travel. And now that we're almost 3 years in, they haven't changed at all. I mean, I would have thought they would have changed a little bit, but
they are still
exactly the same.
I mean, maybe the order changes a little bit, but we're still, our core is still why we travel.
So in no particular order, let's start with number 1. The number 1 reason we travel is to spend more time with the people we love.
We only have, and this is really interesting because about 3.5 years ago, we spent the summer in France, which almost kickstarted this whole life for us. And at that point, we realized how wonderful it was and how magical it was to live in a different location with your kids, seeing, exploring, learning.
And that summer, remember that summer, Avalon, our oldest, turned 9. And then, of course, we did the math. Will's an accountant. He's very good at this stuff. And we realized our time with our eldest, Avalon, is half over. And we looked at that and we went, but it just seems like she was just in diapers yesterday.
So we only had like 8 summers left at that point.
And now we're down to 5 summers.
So now we have 5, right? So you take 5 times 3, there's only 15 months left. 15 months of traveling left if we would have stayed in our traditional life. And we realize, and I think, hopefully everyone can realize that it's really not a lot of time.
It's not. And we were living for the summers and those little pockets of time with them. And now we have more time with both of them. And we say we have 5 summers left with our eldest, but we have more with Largo, luckily. But who knows what's going to happen those 5 summers? She may want to go backpack with friends. She may want to do some volunteer work. So for us, it was almost like this was a time to go, and we would get more time, spending more time with them as a family.
Absolutely. So number 2, we believe that educating the kids through travel is probably the most effective way and the most impactful way that reaches ourselves and our kids.
And our goals. I mean, everyone has their different goals in life, right?
Right, but we're not only teaching our kids, we're teaching ourselves. I mean, we're learning as we go through this travel journey.
Right, we're all learning as a family. So regardless of whether you have kids or not, this is a tremendous learning experience. And you learn every single day, and something is at your fingertips constantly, as opposed to maybe going through your life in your bubble and only learning when you're in a class or when you're at a conference. If you're an adult, you really get kind of a concentrated learning experience and learning about everything in the world as you travel. We've homeschooled, we've world schooled, we've been in international schools outside the US. The kids are in a public French school right now. And I mean, those are all great learning opportunities, but then also outside of that, every day we're learning something when they go and they buy our bread at night, right? I mean, when they...
Every day is a cool adventure for them because they're learning something new.
So number 2.
That was number 2. Jumping on to number 3. Trois. I got it right this time.
No, dos, tres.
We only get one chance at this life. We only have one chance to either make ourselves more globally minded and to see the world, or we only get one chance to really raise our kids in a, epic childhood, however you want to define that to be.
And for us, epic childhood meant living a little different and having travel as part of their life. We don't think it's the only way. I mean, if you want a homestead, then that may be your way of creating an epic childhood for your kids.
Which would be really cool.
Yeah. We can do that next.
Maybe we can travel the world while homesteading. We can take our farm with us.
We're going to take our chickens with us. We're already traveling with a hamster. Why not add some chickens, a cow?
All right, we'll put that to the list of things to do next.
We could put a garden on the top of our car.
But we want to make sure that when the kids grow up, they realize that we made them their number one priority, our number one priority. They are our number one priority, but we want them to realize that they are our soul and our center of our universe.
Yeah, and for us, we just really wanted to give them just a different childhood, just something kind of different and unique and special and less traditional.
Out of the box.
Yeah, and this one's really, number 3, is really quite simple. I mean, this is what epic childhood, what we came up with for a definition for epic childhood. And it could be, if you don't have children, your epic life. I mean, like Will said, you get one shot at this no promise of tomorrow. What is your epic life that you want to
Childhood
create?
is the ultimate science experiment, I like to think. So I don't know if we're going to be paying for therapy later on for them, but we like to think that they're going to walk away from this with, just this catalog of ideas and memories and experiences that will just, they can't replace.
And right now they're madly in love with it, so we roll on.
Yeah, which leads us now to number 4. Cuatro.
Oh my gosh, my fingers.
Cut.
Oh, that's really good.
I know.
You've been practicing while I've been gone. Wow. So we want to expose the kids to real world experiences and people who live different from us.
We think that culture is the gateway to understanding and to, I hate to be all philosophical on this, but really world
Go ahead,
peace.
do it.
I mean, if there is one recipe for understanding and for everyone singing, holding hands together, locking arms, singing Kumbaya, is for everyone to understand each other.
Right. I mean, compassion, empathy, some people are just born with it and have it. Some people learn it through their home. Some people have to have experiences in order to develop this. And we think that that's really important for our kids to see how others live, and be compassionate, understanding, and maybe bring them to philanthropic work as they get older.
Right.
All that. And
through different courses that we've done in Ecuador, our kids were in homeschooling groups in which they met kids from all over.
all over Ecuador, all local families. I mean, that's really cool, right?
Now they're in classrooms in France where they're just getting to know the local culture, something that they would have never seen if we just homeschooled them here. So, it's all sort of coming together in a nice round circle of sort of the experiences that are locking together, creating that cultural.
Sorry, I cut you off. What I like most about this personally is that they're able to compare and contrast these different lifestyles and how people live differently. And then they can make a really educated decision as they grow and figure out what they want to do in their life as to what they really want, right? We're living this life with them, and this is our path with them and our epic version of their childhood for them. But they may decide they don't want to live like this, and now they have a whole bag of goodies to pick from of how we've seen how other people live. So maybe they want to be a farmer in rural India. One of the kids is already expressing interest of wanting to live in Australia and have a children's home where she adopts 10 kids. I think that experience personally, that desire comes from our experience in Costa Rica when Avalon and I volunteered at a children's home. I mean, there are so many, when they learn how other people live, they can clearly define what works best for them and how they want to live their life.
And how to become better global citizens at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Which is sort of what we're trying to do. I mean, this world is becoming a lot smaller every day, and we're just trying to teach them, educate them on how to live it. Because the last thing you want is for a lack of understanding to get in the way of being happy and being able to manage yourself in this world.
So at the end of the day, that's all we want for them. We want them to be happy. Don't worry. Be happy.
So number 5.
We want to invest in creating memories with them and not buying stuff. And
that's a tough one.
But
that's
really?
a tough one.
You say it's tough, and I'm like, that's straightforward.
That's a tough one.
Why is that one a tough one, Will?
Because, we are consumers by nature, and we're trying to break that cycle. And,
human
cycles,
beings or us?
Us in general, human beings. We're hoarders.
I don't think in general.
We were sort of a society that moved from place to place, and then we became an agrarian society that sort of sat down in one place. So we're naturally sort of hoarders.
You're right. I don't think we're in general, we're that big of hoarders, but
we're trying to teach the kids, and what she's trying to get at is that we're trying to teach the kids.
Am I trying to get at something? So like I'm going around.
Is that material possessions is not the root of all happiness, and trying to travel the world and seeing what really is necessary to create that happiness is very little.
Right, because you can't take this stuff with you, right? But you can carry your memories with you through your whole life. You're not going to lose them. Someone else is going to steal them. You have them right there with you. Now, that doesn't mean that we say you should never have anything you like. You should never have any stuff. I think it's important to have things that you like in your life. And if they happen to be you're really into shoes, then go for it, right? Just don't...
or camera gear.
Right, or camera gear. I don't know anyone like that. I guess everything in moderation, and that for us, creating memories with them is more important for us personally than investing in stuff.
Right? There's a reason why we travel so often, and part of it is also because we can only carry so much in an airplane.
Because we only leave with our 8 bags and our 8 carry-ons. So if we've gathered, you know, we have to make the decision to what we're going to shed.
We have a storage unit back in Maine, which is where sort of, I guess, home base is. And that storage unit is gone from this big to this big, and it's really almost going to be gone by the time
I think the
we
next
go back
trip
to the
will
US.
pretty much be done with it. I mean,
There's a video that we had a couple months ago. I'll link it right here.
right on
somewhere.
my head, right on my face. So link it right here.
Somewhere. And talking about our shedding experience, it's more comedic than anything else.
It's one of my favorite videos, actually.
But it talks a lot about sort of how we just have to part with things.
And I'm just going to interrupt and do a little disclaimer. Will gets very emotional in this video.
I like
I think
my
he
stuff.
might have even had a fight with one of the people trying to buy one of his items at discount. So
recapping our top five, not yours, but it could be yours.
you can steal some
You're
of
allowed.
ours. Number 1, we want to spend tons of time with our kids before they take off on their own adventures.
Number 2 is learning through travel.
Number 3, we want to create an epic childhood, and for us, that means travel.
Number 4 is getting a real world experience.
And number 5, we want to create memories with them instead of buying stuff. And number 5.5,
There was one right there.
freedom. Freedom to live the life you want.
So that wraps up our top 5. Now those are our 5. Yours may be different. Everyone has their own reasons why they want to start a travel life, but we think that, you know, we're trying to create a life that is different for us and that we think that is going to be memorable and epic for a lifetime.
And these may change as time goes on. They haven't changed yet, but they may change as the kids change and as we change. It's just, you know, we don't know. I actually would love to hear what your top 1 or 2 reasons are for traveling, or why you want to travel, or why you are traveling. If you can put them down in the comments, I'd love to hear. Maybe we'll change one of ours. If we like yours, we'll steal it.
I mean, we'll give you credit, promise. We hope you like this, and be sure to come back every week for another World Towning 101. And make sure to hit that subscribe button, because with the notifications, you'll get a little alert that will tell you, hey, there's another one, come watch. Thanks for watching, and see you next time on World Towning.
Au revoir.
Bye. So number 4, número 4, cat.
Yeah, I was saying, don't do your Spanish. You're so good at that. Show us your French.
Number 4 is that, I don't even remember.
I know.
We want to get real world experiences. Say that 5 times.
I know.